Lorna tucked her hands behind her back and forced a smile. Absolutely. I'll begin sketching out the design immediately. Mrs. Harshaw gave Lorna a sidelong look. And don't tell anyone. I'm sure the engagement won't be announced for ages, but I have it on excellent authority that there will be a wedding within the year, even as early as next spring. She simpered. I'd name the groom, but that would be telling, wouldn't it? She stood and tugged her gloves into place. I absolutely must take advantage of what I've been hearing to have the most unique gift for the newlyweds. And for heaven's sake, not a plaid. She wrinkled her nose. Plaids are so common. Lorna nodded. Of course, plaids weren't the least bit common if you really understood what the patterns meant, or how challenging they were to weave. But Lorna supposed Mrs. Harshaw wanted something showier that would make her gift stand out among what was sure to be an ostentatious display of silver, crystal, and even jewels at the society wedding of the year, if not the decade. Lorna had met Cornelia, Biltmore Estate's heiress, on several occasions. When they were both youngsters, Tar Heel Nell, as the locals called her, was often a visitor to Biltmore Estate Industries, where Lorna had first learned to weave. She'd even spoken to her on her birthday 2 years earlier, when Lorna had mistakenly counted herself lucky to supply those blasted curtains that were coming back to haunt her now. Of course, Lorna didn't really know Cornelia, who was 3 years her junior and 1,000 miles her social superior. No matter that she had laughed and played with the village children once upon a time. Now Mrs. Harshaw seemed confident that she was about to become engaged at the age of 23. Her father wouldn't be there to walk her down the aisle, which was a sadness Lorna understood keenly. Can you give me a hint? Mrs. Harshaw cooed, interrupting Lorna's thoughts. A hint? Lorna blinked. Oh, as to the design. She shook off her reverie and gave her customer a wide-eyed look. I might let you have a peek once I'm further along, but for now you'll just have to trust that I will create a design unlike any you've seen before. Wonderful. Mrs. Harshaw stood and tucked her bag under her arm. And remember, the cost is of no consequence. She tossed her head and laughed. Use gold thread if you like. Just be certain the end result is utterly unique. She leaned close and lowered her voice. It should be fit for royalty. Lorna walked the older woman out to her waiting driver and waved her off with a confident smile. She watched the car disappear down the mountain. When she returned to her desk, Mr. Tompkins, her supervisor, stood there, tapping his toe. Can you deliver on that promise you just made? Lorna swallowed, her mouth suddenly dry. Of course I can, she said lightly. He pinched his lips. Really? Because it's been quite some time since you produced anything even close to what that woman will be expecting. He narrowed his eyes and stabbed the desk with his finger. And if you fail, I feel confident your time here will be at an end. I know some people go so far as to credit your early designs with helping to save the company, but it's been nearly 2 years since your last release. Lorna hoped he didn't see her flinch. Mr. Tompkins had been hinting for months that the administrative work she handled could be done by someone younger and less skilled just as well for less money. She suspected the only reason she was still employed was because Mr. Seeley had a soft spot for her, and because she was always willing to step in and help with weaving and training to keep production on schedule. There were rumors that the business was, once again, flagging, as it had been when Mrs. Vanderbilt sold it in 1917.